The emergency room buzzed like a hornet's nest, but no one ever noticed the quiet nurse in the corner, the one with kind eyes and tired hands. Her name was Lila Hart, and if there was one thing she knew how to do, it was survive. That night, it was raining. Not just outside the hospital walls, but inside her soul. She had worked 12 straight hours. Her scrubs stained with other people's blood, her mind exhausted from delivering bad news, and her heart aching from the memory of a phone call she'd received just days ago. Her brother, Danny, had been jumped by a group of teenagers for his lunch money and was now in a coma. No arrests, no justice. She walked alone to her car in the hospital parking lot, the rain soaking through her thin jacket. She didn't see them at first. The shadows moved too quickly. "Hey, nurse!" A voice sneered from behind her. She turned slowly, her heart immediately tightening. 3 teenage boys stood there, laughing, taunting. One of them held a cigarette like a trophy. Another was filming with his phone. "You look like the one who patched up my cousin last week," one of them said, stepping forward. "He didn't like the way you talked to him. Said you looked scared." "I'm not looking for trouble," Lila replied, voice firm but trembling. But trouble didn't care. Before she could move, one of them shoved her hard. She hit the concrete with a sickening thud, her elbow scraping against the ground. The fall knocked the wind out of her. "Look at her!" One of them laughed. "She's gonna cry!" She didn't. Not then. But when they kicked at her bag and scattered her things, the ID badge with her name, the family photo of her and Danny, the wrapped leftover sandwich, something inside her cracked. Not her bones. Her patience. Lila spotted it near a dumpster. A broken chair with one leg split off like a jagged weapon. Blood trickled down her cheek as she pushed herself off the ground. She didn't run. She stood, and in her hand, she held that broken chair leg like it was forged from fire. "Back away," she said, her voice low and steady. They didn't listen. She stepped forward. And that's when something changed. Not in them, in her. The nurse who spent her life cleaning up the messes left behind by pain and cruelty was now standing, unafraid, bruised but unbroken. One of the boys flinched. "She's crazy, man. Go ahead. Try me," she said. "You think I haven't seen worse. I've held dying children. I've stitched up the innocent. I've wiped tears off murderers. You don't scare me." Her eyes blazed. Not with rage, but with a raw, deep strength they'd never seen before. The boy with the phone lowered it. His voice broke as he said, "Let's go." They left. She stayed. The next morning, security footage revealed everything. The video went viral. Not because it showed her being knocked down, but because of what she did after. Standing back up, that broken chair leg would later be hung on a wall in the ER, framed, not as a weapon, but as a symbol of resistance, grit, and quiet fury. Lila never pressed charges. Instead, she asked to meet the boys, under one condition, that they volunteer at the hospital for 6 months. It wasn't easy. The first weeks were tense. But then, something started to change. They saw what she saw. The girl who'd been shot in a drive-by and never got her last birthday. The mother holding her child's hand as he slipped into sleep forever. The elderly man with no visitors, clinging to Lila's hand as if it were life itself. Each boy cried at some point. None admitted it. But Lila saw. By the end of those 6 months, they weren't bullies anymore. One went on to study nursing. Another started filming community interviews about violence and change. And the third, he visited Lila every month just to talk. In life, pain is inevitable. Cruelty can come from anywhere. But the greatest power isn't in the punch. It's in rising after the fall. Lila's story didn't end on that pavement. It began there. Because sometimes the strongest warriors wear scrubs. And sometimes a broken chair leg is all you need to remind the world You don't get to decide who breaks. Not today. Not ever.